going on, everyone? HyperShredder46 here, coming at you with a quick video. Okay, so this is not clickbait. By all means, this is not clickbait. I do not do clickbait. I found out who it is. The Master of Masters. I know who it is. I know who it is now. It took me a while to figure it out. Shut up. Shut up. It took me a while to figure it out, but after putting the little pieces here and there together, I figured out who it is. The Master of Masters. It was the black, not the black-coated figure. It was the brown-coated figure in Kingdom Hearts 1, the one who stated he was Ansem, the Seeker of Darkness. That's the Master of Masters. I mean, when you think about it, we don't see who the Master of Masters is, but we do know he has the power of foresight for the sake of the fact that he has placed his heart into multiple people's bodies in the future just so we can see what would happen, so we can write down all the information in the Book of Prophecies that he then bestowed against his disciples. But what if all of that time travel, all of that placing his heart into different people, what if all of that did something to his body which caused him to become disfigured the way how the brown-coated figure stated he was? He said after some past transgressions, he ended up losing his corporeal form, and he was just a figure just floating around. What if that's the Master of Masters? I mean, when you think about it, it doesn't sound too far-fetched. I mean, it's like, how do I explain this? How do I explain this? Because, like, all of that messing around with the time travel, with, Xehanort putting his heart into multiple bodies, and then that would also go on to say that the Master of Masters, at one point, is Master Xehanort. I mean, and that itself doesn't sound too far-fetched, because with Xehanort saying he said he was going to live, he was going to survive and witness the Keyblade War, which is something that happened around the time when the Master of Masters disappeared, and then the fact that, the Keyblade, the same Keyblade that the Master of Masters had is passed down from person to person, and it just happened to come across Xehanort. Doesn't sound like too much of a coincidence to me. It doesn't sound like a coincidence. So then so that means in order, that means the Master of Masters would have to become Xehanort, which would then have to become the brown figure that talked to Sora in the beginning of Kingdom Hearts 1. In Dream Drop Distance, young Xehanort kind of gives a little bit of exposition that old Xehanort would basically say, his 13 selves would meet him on this day when he would become real again, and we don't get to see who the you don't get to see who the other people are. All we get to see was Xehanort himself, Ansem, Xemnas, young Xehanort, Isa, Braig, and I believe that was it. If I'm missing someone, please put that in the comments. But then looking at the Kingdom Hearts 3 trailer that was just recently released, which by the way, I will be posting a video of my reaction. You guys are in for a treat. We do end up seeing Larxene, and she looks like she may have been part of maybe Xehanort's possession. We do see a return of Vanitas, and as well as, I believe his name is Luxord, dude with the cards. And we did see, sadly, that Aqua has been branded as a Xehanort follower. How, we don't know. I think maybe something happened behind the Realm of Darkness, or who knows, maybe that just might be an illusion. Because after all, when Aqua was in her time in the Realm of Darkness, she was stating she was having illusions of seeing Terra and Ventus, and they weren't really there. And then Terra did make a statement to her saying when she was able to hear him and see him, she was only seeing him how she wanted to see him, not how he actually was. So maybe that could be a little bit of exposition there. Maybe Aqua isn't really taken. Maybe that's just Riku and King Mickey just seeing her as somebody different, like an illusion. Because after all, Master Xehanort is a Keyblade master. Years of mastering Keyblade magic, light, darkness, elements. Who knows? He probably could have done something and cast an illusion to make them see. Because the last we saw of Aqua in the Realm of Darkness, other than the fragmentary passage, was when she was talking to Ansem the Wise, because Ansem the Wise isn't dead. The same can be said for Ericus, because at the time they didn't know what exactly Heartless and Nobodies were. They just thought, oh, the second a person lost their heart, they were gone for good, which is why a lot of people thought when Xehanort must have fallen and become heartless and he became Ansem and Xemnas, they thought everything was over, things were gone, all was said and done. Until we had the exposition in Kingdom Hearts 2 that when a Heartless and a Nobody are destroyed, the original person pops back up. So maybe at some point we might see the return of Ericus as well as Ansem the Wise, because Ansem the Wise could have turned into a Heartless. The thing is, with his Nobody form, he doesn't remember. He did say he had some occurrences of his memory here or there. He does remember Sora. He remembers some of his experiments from when he was still a person, and he was telling Aqua about, Sora. He was telling him about, Sora, he has so many hearts connected to him. He was the one who killed Ansem, the Seeker of Darkness. He saved the worlds multiple times. He killed Xemnas alongside the help of Riku, and he might be the one who might be holding Ventus's heart inside of him, because he's has so many connections. He's like almost a living embodiment of light itself. He's just like, yeah, Sora's like all this. Sora's this, man. He's so good. He's done so much for so many people, and he's like, oh my god, like he's amazing. You gotta meet him. But then I'm thinking, because Aqua was at the same place in the realm of darkness where Sora and Riku were after they defeated Xemnas, when they saw the bottle when Sora opened the bottle with the message that Kairi had for him, and the gateway to light had opened. And who knows, maybe Aqua might have escaped to Destiny Islands through that way. Because from what we've seen so far, anytime anyone's in the realm of darkness, for some freaking reason, they always seem to pop up in Destiny Islands for whatever reason. One thing, but back to my whole theory. Again, it doesn't sound too crazy. It doesn't sound too far-fetched. But the only hole in my theory was, what caused the Master of Masters to become like this? When you think about it, if he becomes Xehanort, and if Xehanort's heart and his heart are basically one and the same, wouldn't that mean he could time travel back to before the Keyblade War? Because Xehanort stated himself, young Xehanort stated himself, after he gained time travel, the only way how time travel could work is if he can only time travel back to when he existed. He can't time travel back any further to when he started existing, and he can't go any far in the future to see any sort of prerequisite. So that would mean that the Master of Masters had to be Xehanort. Because otherwise, the Keyblade doesn't mean anything. Because with Sora, because how else would he know about Sora and Roxas and Riku and Axel and King Mickey? It wouldn't make sense, because the Master of Masters wasn't there. He didn't exist at the time. So he can't go in the future, and he definitely can't go back into the past. That means he has to be Xehanort to witness some of these events happening as Ansem and Xemnas. And when he comes back together as Xehanort, he can travel back to the past and recall these events back to his former self, when he used to exist. And then the brown-coated figure, that's a version of him in that time. So that means Xehanort, all the way in the future, meaning in Kingdom Hearts 3, Kingdom Hearts Dream Drop Distance, can time travel all the way back. As long as the brown-coated figure is there, that's still, I want to say that is still Xehanort. I want to say that's still Xehanort. He may brand himself as Ansem, and you know what? At this point, anybody could call themselves Ansem and get away with it. We have Ansem the Seeker of Darkness and Ansem the Wise. We both thought they were the same person with the Ansem reports, but obviously now we see that they're not the same person. But at this point, that could possibly be happening here. The brown-coated figure could call himself Ansem, but in all reality, he could be Xehanort just hiding himself from Sora's view. Because think about, what if Sora saw his face or saw how he looked, and he survived the events of Kingdom Hearts 1 after killing Ansem? He could then retell this information to Riku or Yen Sid or King Mickey, and that could have instantly sparked something, just like, oh my god, Xehanort's back, we need to do something. We need the that if anything, that would have just fast forward or sped up most of the events that would soon lead to the events of Kingdom Hearts 2, 358 over 2 days, 3, coded, all of that. So I think if there's any like point in my theory that I really like can't grasp onto, it's just how. And I don't mean how like, oh, how is he how is the Master of Masters Xehanort? I mean, I've already covered that. Or oh, how can he exist in multiple planes? I mean, because they're obviously not the same person. And I get that, yes. What I mean by how is, how could this have been this? How could there have been this much planning? Because again, Xehanort couldn't have seen this coming. I mean, as much as as much time travel as there is, time travel has to follow continuity in the sense that even you being able to see the future and you going back to change events, that's still part of the timeline. That's why when people say, oh, it doesn't matter if you can see in the future, that won't change fate, because even you seeing into the future is still a part of continuity order of time. You seeing in the future is not changing anything because that was already pre-planned for future events, which is why in multiple movies or multiple TV shows, even if someone has future foresight, events still happen because you seeing the future will still cause you to do certain things which will lead to those same events happening. So no matter what you do, those events are always going to happen. But even Xehanort seeing these things, there's no way how he could change what happened. So him trying to do all these things is not making a difference. It's already pre-planned in history to happen. Even with the five masters, Sed, Ava, Ira, Gula, Envy, even with those, the fact that they could see the events happening before they happen just by reading them on the page has already been put through time, which is why the Master of Masters did kind of tell him, what's the point of trying to stop it? We already know what's going to happen. Plan for what comes after. That's the whole point. I mean, the Master of Masters is stupid and he's smart in a way. He's stupid in the fact that he gave each of them a specific role and specifically told them not to tell each other what the role was. But he was smart in the sense that, he did try to tell them, once you guys look at these events, there's no chance in hell you're going to be able to stop them. Plan for what comes after. In which case, in a way, I look at that as him trying to warn them, try to stop it. Try to stop this. If you guys plan for what comes after, see if you can stop it. Try to stop it. Because if they've read the Book of Prophecies, they already know about Sora, they know about Riku, Roxas, Ventus, the Keyblade War, Xehanort, and all of this. And they can't, obviously, they're not stupid. They're definitely far from being dumb. Somewhat. I will say they are somewhat of being stupid. They're somewhat short of being stupid. But I'm getting too sidetracked here. The point is, we know who the Master of Masters is. And it's a guaranteed. I'm pretty sure I'm willing to bet money on this theory. Because it's almost solid, but there's some blank spots I can't seem to fill. And that's where you guys have to come in. So we all need to band together. I mean, if we get enough people to look into this and we get enough evidence to back up my theories, I mean, I have proof, as I've already stated, to back it up, but I don't know. It's just, tell me what you guys think. I mean, I'm all ears. I mean, if you guys see, some major contradictions in my theory, please, by all means, point it out, because I'm serious about making this a thing. Because it just seems Kingdom Hearts doesn't do things purely coincidental. It's like Scott Cawthon for FNAF. Nothing's done just, oh, what a coincidence. No, that's not how Kingdom Hearts rolls. That's not how they work. If something's done and it seems out of coincidence, it's probably planned. So definitely tell me your guys' thoughts on this, because I really would like to hear it and see what other theories you might have. Maybe some sort of follow what I said, and maybe some are completely off the wall and point to a different person. I think I might make this a thing. Until Kingdom Hearts 3 comes out, I think I might have my own, I think I might do a mini-series of my own little Kingdom Hearts theories. I have been pondering Kingdom Hearts in general lately, and I think I might actually do this as a mini series. So definitely tell me what you guys think. As always, I'm HyperShadow46. Keep a lookout for the 7 Chaos Summers, and I will see you all in the next video. Stay beautiful, stay frosty. I love you all, and I thank you all for watching. Hope you have a good day. Bye bye.